Another Yellowstone prequel series, 1944, by Taylor Sheridan, was set up in the Season 2 finale of 1923. Just like the rest of the show, the second season finale of 1923 was horrific. In 1923, 5 significant characters passed away. Among them were villains like Banner Craton and Donald Whitfield, but there were also tragic losses, like Alexandra. There was still a glimmer of hope and a means to carry the story of the Dutton family tree into the future, despite all the tragedy that occurred in 1923 Season 2. Taylor Sheridan has a plethora of potential Yellowstone spin-off series, even after the main series ends. In 1923, with 2 spin-offs in the works, one starring Beth Dutton and Rip Wheeler and another set in the Madison, the Dutton narrative is far from over. But in the latter end of 1923's second season, one spin-off in particular got a huge setup in 1944. All the elements are in place to tell the next chapter of the long history of the Yellowstone Ranch, thanks to the infant child of Alexandra and Spencer. John Dutton was named after Alexandra, who named her only son before she passed away from hypothermia and frostbite necrosis. Since John Dutton, I was Spencer's older brother. John Dutton, too, is the man who bridges the gap between 1923 and Yellowstone, played by Kevin Costner's John Dutton 3. Considering that Season 2 takes place 20 years after 1923, it may easily depict John II's early adulthood. John II's World War II military service, similar to Spencer's World War I experience, may perhaps be chronicled in the prequel series. Another possibility is that it just follows John II as he protects the Yellowstone from another wealthy man who wants to steal it. The birth of John Dutton was a major piece of the 1944 setup, but it wasn't the only way that 1923 set the stage for its integral plot. Elizabeth, played by Michelle Randolph, is carrying Jack's child. Even though she is returning to the East Coast from Montana, by the time Elizabeth and Jack's baby is born in 1944, they will be around 20 years old. If the show continues, they may go back to Montana to research their father's ancestry, adding to the intrigue of 1944. They may even follow Jamie Dutton's lead and become a new pretender to the Yellowstone. Apart from John II, there will be a part that I hope to play and start in the early years of the present day. While 1923 introduced a number of formerly new characters for 1944 to explore, viewers of the new spin-off series may recognize some of the original cast members. While Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford's Jacob will both pass away by 1944, the narrator from 1923 assured us that Spencer survived for 45 more years after John was born in 1944. While he is operating the Yellowstone, an older Spencer will most likely make an appearance. Brandon Sleaner could potentially reprise his role as Spencer if 1944 included flashbacks to his youth, set 20 years before the events of 1923. Who knows who else could show up as recollections? If 1944 does flashback to Spencer's youth, Spencer might tell John the stories about Alexandra, share wisdom he gained from Jack Barra, and even see traits of Jack's character in his own son. The options are practically limitless. The groundwork that 1923 Season 2 recently set for 1944 will give it a good start when it is ready.